Young world, a travesty is developing right before our eyes. If you haven't noticed, Michael Jackson is being erased from history, all aspects of history. I just seen that the Simpsons TV show is deleting episodes that have Michael Jackson in them, or taking them out of rotation, off of syndication, or whatever it is that they do on TV to remove something. Radio stations worldwide are now banning Michael Jackson's music. He's already losing the court of public opinion. Before you know it, his CDs or any kind of hard copy of his music will probably be banned from being able to be bought anywhere, is what it's looking like. And there's a couple different agendas being played at the same time with the situation between Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, and Bill Cosby. There's a few different agendas going on at the same time. One of them, which I believe is, and not to be on a racial stuff, not to sound too crazy, like a crazy conspiracy person. One of my theories is that black people are waking up, and the powers that be are trying to stop black people from waking up. One thing this does, because it kind of started with the Black Panther movie for me, is when I started identifying certain stuff. And also the Bill Cosby situation emerging around the same time that was coming out and that came out. But the Black Panther movie, what I think that did was, when the powers that be, because this is what I think a lot of black people are starting to wake up. And this is what I believe. A lot of people don't believe it, but many people are starting to adopt this ideology that black people are native to North America. We was here before. Maybe there was what they call Indians. I'm not saying there weren't quote unquote Indians or Mexican resembling Native American type people, but there were black people here, I believe, before, if there were even any slave, if the whole slave thing is, I'm not saying slavery is not real. If slave ships didn't really come here, whether they did or not, I believe that black people were already here before that. And I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to that. And no, I'm not saying that Africa isn't the homeland. Men started in Africa, allegedly, from what we can see. I'm not saying that that's not where life started. That got nothing to do with me saying that black people are native to North America. But I think the biggest lie ever told in America is this slavery situation. Like I said, I'm not saying slavery didn't happen, but I believe that black people were already here. Slavery is a whole different story. That's a long, drawn out story, and there's a lot of questions that need to be answered when you accept the idea of people being brought here by the millions on ships. There's a lot of different things to think about. Some people even say, like Dan Calloway, slavery is told in reverse. Maybe black people were taken from here to Africa, but that's a whole different. I don't want to go too far down any one of those stories. What I'm saying in a nutshell is that many people are starting to believe that black people are actually native to America. So that's one thing people are waking up from. And also, this reparations talk is starting to become mainstream. Along with this, the same time, this idea is starting to become viral of ownership. Black people are starting to finally catch on to the idea of owning businesses and having ownership. And why be part of a league when we could start our own leagues? Like the things like Ice Cube and people are doing, Master P, people like that are making moves on a superpower level. And you can even say with Jay-Z, with Tidal, whoever controls Tidal, if Jay-Z really owns Tidal, you can even say things like that. So what this Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly stuff does is reminds them people that are in positions to actually make changes and do stuff. Because people, the regular people like us, we can have all these ideas and come up with a perfect plan of how we can execute certain stuff to make this be that, start our own league, but we don't have the ability to do it. We don't got the money, resources, or ability in any way, shape, or form to get it done. But these black athletes and these black entertainers and black people that have money do. Because we look at it as just a simple formula. If you take the all-stars in the NBA from any team, I guess you could say the MVPs, people are there to watch the game because they're watching the stars play the game. If those stars weren't in the game, would people watch the NBA? Probably not. They would go wherever those stars were playing at. So if those stars of the NBA, all the people that have the couple dollars and the ability and are play the game the best, if they all just said we're going to start our own league now, that would be detrimental to the powers that be. Something as simple as that, or the NFL or any other sports team. Because it doesn't really take much. You got to realize that mental slavery is way more dangerous than physical slavery. Because mental slavery, this is how simple mental slavery is, but this is how effective it is. Mental slavery will keep all the black people who have a lot of money doing the same thing they've been doing for the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years. Because that's the way that mental slavery teaches you that you have to exist to be able to have the stuff that you have. Breaking the bonds of mental slavery would be something as simple as 10 or 20 of those black people that got a couple $1,000,000 coming together, putting their money together to start something that wouldn't cost a fortune. The only thing you really need to start some of these certain, we'll just say basketball for instance, all you need to start that is the talent. It's a game people are watching. It's talent that's produced by individual's own personal physical body. That's something you can control beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond anything. Nobody can tell you that to stop jumping as high as you want to jump, or to stop running as fast as you want to run, or to stop shooting 3-pointers however you want to shoot them. That's something that don't take outside money. It don't take outside help to do that. It don't take outside resources for you to be able to play basketball if you get at it. So that's a natural resource, because at that point, the people playing basketball, at that point they become a natural resource. The same thing with hip hop music, or just any music in general. I'm just saying hip hop, because we're talking about black people waking up. But it's the same thing with music or comedy. The person herself becomes the natural resource, because the event or the entertainment that people are paying to be entertained by is coming from a person's soul, physical body. And that's where breaking the bonds of slavery, something as simple as knowing that much, can make a monumental change in the way things are done. 20 athletes that got a couple $1,000,000, instead of going with the system they've been going, abide by, and being scared to make moves and stuff like that, just having the idea of them 20 coming together, putting up a few million each, starting their own league with their own cameras, their own production, would change everything. But this is where this stuff ties into what I'm saying about the Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby situation, or R. Kelly situation. Now that black folks are actually starting to wake up to stuff like that, there's been little conversations about it here and there. You hear people talking about it. Like I said, people like Ice Cube are taking it a step further to do more, to try to actually make it happen. They do these things like this Michael Jackson situation to remind them, look, if you get too big for your britches, if you try to outgrow what we're giving you the space to give, that we gave you, we will shut you down. We control the media, we control the cameras, we control the news stories, we control the physical ability to do whatever it is we have to do to not only just remove you from your position, slander you while we're removing you, maybe even lock you up, at the very least erase you from history, and nobody can do nothing about it. That's really what's going on here. That's really, I'll say, that's not the only thing, but that's one of the agendas that's being played out right now. At the end of the day, Michael Jackson, is he guilty or not guilty? It really don't matter, for the simple fact that, let me clarify, if he's guilty, I'm not slandering victims, if there is victims. If he's guilty and there is really victims, I'm not taking shots at them. I'm totally sympathetic to their situation if there really is victims. However, even if there really is victims, this is something that has been tried in the court of law twice. This is something that these two guys on this Leaving Neverland, a story came out now that the guy Wade Robson got mad because he was recently supposed to be the choreographer of some kind of Michael Jackson event that happened within the past year or two, and the Jackson family passed him over to do it. So now all of a sudden he comes out with this revelation, even though people have been saying they've been hearing him say little stuff throughout the years. The fact of the matter is, he was already went to court and said nothing happened years ago. And like Michael Jackson's nephew said, he could say he was scared, but you're in a court in a courtroom, you got sheriffs, police, judges, all kind of people around you to protect you from what you might think might be somebody attacking you in court if you're scared to say something. So it was two situations where acquitted in a court of law. That means it's done. He already said his part, both of them. They both said nothing happened. So that's that. Michael Jackson's been dead for over 10 years. So to be able to allow two people to come along now and just say something, and people, and it's not just that they're saying something that's really, that's the bad part, is that things are actually being done. Like I said, they're taking Michael Jackson's music off the air. They took down his Simpson episodes off the TV. And the reason why you need to worry about this is because when this happens to you, that's when you're going to realize how this stuff like this shouldn't be allowed to happen. Because we live in a society where the justice system only works if there's fairness in the justice. And most black people can sit here and tell you that it has never been fair for black folks, the justice system. But even with the unfairness that has been going on, this is taking it to a different next level. Because now you're allowing somebody to make changes in somebody else's life just by talking something, and especially even after the fact that it was acquitted of in the court of law. So you allow somebody to come years later. I can see if Michael Jackson was here to be able to defend himself, then that's one thing. But this is a done deal. Michael Jackson has been dead. Everybody's clapping for this stuff and happy and think it's cool and watching the Leaving Neverland. I didn't watch it. I had no interest in watching it. Just like I didn't watch the Leaving R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly thing. I'm going to watch the R. Kelly interview with Gayle King when I get a chance to watch the whole thing, because it's actually himself sitting there saying something. But I'm not going to give my time and attention and watch a 4-hour event of people just saying a one-sided argument. So this is partially what I feel the elites reminding black folks. Don't try to come out here and start no leagues up. Don't try to come out here and make no power moves. Don't try to come out here and take over nothing, because you would end up like Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, or R. Kelly.